Good morning, everyone. Everyone back, you guys can get the plates and join the session. We are starting off with the next part of the program, which is going to be interactive case-based discussion on all the different topics that we have just spoken about. So this is a 60-year-old female, diabetic but fairly well controlled. So you're tending towards not being aggressive. Try a repeat biopsy.
Yeah, unless patient is kind of, like again fits into those absolutely necessary surgical criteria, then probably
Correct.
you can
Because essentially the only thing that has worsened in the past 10 days is the pain has increased, a slight imbalance and maybe early urinary urgency. Independent walking. Yeah. Fair. So what we did is like what Nikhil asked, we got an X-ray done and this is what the X-ray is showing. Nikhil, any change in plan after seeing the X-ray?
So there is collapse of the disc space. It is opening up in supine position and it is getting collapsed in sitting position. Not actually, sir. This is what supine.
Yeah, the left one is supine. The left one is just basic supine and the right one is supine and sitting, just as a comparison between the two. So all right. So here, so that was the discussion that was happening, that do we just wait and watch, do we repeat the biopsy or do we do surgery? When we look closely at the X-ray, there is actually some movement that is happening. And if you look at the MRI, the patient has developed a 3-column injury. If you see the posterior aspect, initially, in the previous MRIs, you'll just see something anteriorly. But then if you see there was a little break in the posterior aspect and on sitting supine, there was increase in kyphosis. This was matching with the fact that the patient was having instability type of pain and early involvement of neurology. Of course, it wasn't significant. It could go both ways. We had an option of redoing the biopsy, bracing the patient and conserving her, or we had an option of operating on her. The decision actually was taken by getting the patient into confidence. The patient's husband was a CKD patient and she had to take care of the patient, taking him to the hospital for dialysis, etc. So mobility was very important for her, and that's why here we decided that we'll go ahead and do the, we'll just go ahead and stabilize the patient. At the same time, we'll take a sample and then give dedicated antibiotics. This is where we came to know we had a surprise. This patient turned out positive for Salmonella typhi, and then on detailed medical history, we came to know some 4 or 5 months back, the patient had suffered from typhoid, which was just managed as a basic typhoid regimen orally. But post that, the patient started having back issues, which eventually led into a full-blown spondylodiscitis. So we were able to stop the anti-TB medicines, went ahead and gave the patient IV antibiotics for targeted IV antibiotics, and the patient is doing very well. Follow-up scans show that the infection has healed well. Absolutely. It could have very well been conserved. Surgery was decided basically because clinically and radiologically the patient was getting worse, and more importantly that the patient wanted to be mobile because of her condition where she had to keep going to the hospital practically 3 times a week. So the take home from this case is that cultures and antibiotic sensitivity is very important. Whatever shows in your MRI and India being an endemic country, we can start with empirical AKT, but always try to get tissue diagnosis and microbiological diagnosis because it makes a big difference where you are able to stop antibiotics in 6 weeks versus making them take medicines for a year. So always try to get sampling. Even if you're going ahead with surgery, make sure that you do sampling at that time so that you can give more targeted antibiotics. Thank you.